All right, first week of trig course, and we're just going to do a refresher on quadrants, reference angles, coterminal angles. All right, so quadrants and reference angles, positive and negative angles. So remember when we're talking about quadrants, here you have your x-axis, here's your y. This quadrant right here is quadrant 1, and both the x and the y values are positive. This is quadrant 2. The x's are negative, the y's are positive. Quadrant 3, x's are negative and y's are negative. If you're looking at the graph, that all of this stuff should really make sense. In your fourth quadrant, the x's are positive and the y's are negative. All right. Reference angles are acute angles that lie between the terminal side of an angle to the x-axis. So even though right here this diagram says, hey, by the way, we're talking about this 315-degree angle right here, the reference angle is the difference between, if you went the whole 360 and 315, this right here would be a 45-degree reference angle. All right? So if you had an angle that looked like this, that would maybe be 30 degrees. If that same angle was over here, it would also be a 30 degree. Even though we went from here to here, which is 150 degrees, the reference angle is the acute angle between the terminal side of the angle and the x-axis. So if we went 30 degrees down here, this would be the reference angle. All right. And this is in degree mode. We also have radian mode, right? So this 30-degree angle right here would be pi over 6. There's positive and negative angles, correct? So in this example, we went almost all the way around the circle. And if it's in radians, that would be 2 pi, and we went in the negative direction. So we went all the way backwards, almost a full circle. But the reference angle, we're still going to put it in positive notation, and 30 degrees is the same as pi 6, and the reference part is pi 6, even though we went in the negative direction. All right, so speaking of radians and degrees, well, let's talk about coterminals first, then we'll talk about converting. Coterminal angles are angles that sit right on top of each other. So if I draw, say, this angle right here, and let's call that a 70-degree angle, well, whoops, I don't want to make it that big. All right, but if I then go all the way around the circle and then back up at that point, well, I've gone 360 plus that 70. So 430 and 70 are coterminal angles. They are angles that sit on top of each other. And if you have to check, it's just the difference of 360. So if we had to check these two, we would just, that's still going to be too big. We would just subtract 360 Oh, look at those two are coterminal degrees. All right, so find a coterminal angle between 0 and 360. So if we have 705 degrees and we subtract 360, we would be at 340 degrees, 345 degrees. But let's say that would have been 1,000 degrees. Well, if I subtract 360 from 1,000, 1,360. Well, we're at 640. That's not between 0 and 360. So I would subtract 360 again. 280 does exist. So if you're at 1,000 degrees and you need to find a coterminal angle between 0 and 360, look at, we just had to subtract 360 twice. So here it says find a positive and negative coterminal angle. So we're at negative 210 degrees. So if I want another negative coterminal angle, I'm just going to go ahead and subtract 360. And remember, a negative plus a negative, it becomes more negative. Whoops. So negative 570 degrees is coterminal with 210 degrees. Then I'm going to take that negative 210 degrees and I'm going to add a positive 360. Notice we subtracted 360 to find another negative coterminal, and I'm going to add 360. So remember, when you're adding opposites, you treat it like subtraction. These three angles right here all sit on top of each other. So what that means is this angle right here, which is easy to draw, which is 150 degrees, well, that's the exact same measure as negative 210 degrees and negative 570 degrees. All right, that's it for this video on quadrants, reference angles, and coterminal angles.